rappers behind the scene that want to talk about it and they're scared. But sweetheart, I'm not scared. I'm legendary in these streets. You know how many artists I've spoken to behind the scenes that are too afraid to speak up?
So you'll speak. We'll speak, y'all.
I'm gonna speak because y'all can't touch me. I am completely protected. I am protected by God. Y'all don't see that by now?
Remember when Jay-Z said this?
I think we passed kneeling.
Let me play it again. This time, look at the reaction of the lady sat just behind him.
Rapper Nicki Minaj was the apparent target of a swatting call last night at around 7 p.m. The LA County Sheriff's Department received a call claiming an assault with a deadly weapon had occurred at the Grammy winners' Hidden Hills.
Nicki Minaj just blew everything wide open. She pulled out real receipts and is calling out everybody. She's saying Roc Nation been running a sneaky setup game on rappers and she ain't staying quiet. Jay-Z's name right there in the middle of it, plus Desiree Perez, the same lady who went from convict to straight-up federal informant. But Nicki ain't just tossing random shots. She's making some serious moves, saying Roc Nation played a part in Tory Lanez getting locked up, 6999 being labeled a snitch, and Casanova catching those heavy RICO charges. And here's the craziest part. All these dudes had something to say about Desiree Perez. That's no coincidence. Then out of nowhere, it gets way darker. Desiree's own daughter stepped up and backed Nicki all the way. She even said her own mom had her thrown in a psych ward for no reason at all. That's beyond wild. If Desiree can allegedly do that to her own kid, imagine what she'd do to Nicki now that she's spilling all this tea and dropping receipts. And let's keep it real. Desiree's daughter been talking about this online, but no big news outlet touched it. That's why Nicki had to step out herself, dropping cold, hard proof showing Roc Nation might be tight with federal agents. She really went off. Nicki posted a screenshot straight up saying Roc Nation and Desiree Perez been linking with the feds to spy on artists and use their legal drama to keep them on a leash. This is insane! And this ain't just some random screenshot floating around. The doc straight up calls Desiree a confidential informant for the feds. But here's the real shocker. This didn't come from no shady DM or messy blog. It came straight from a lawsuit filed by Desiree's own daughter, Dara Hadley. That's wild. According to them court papers, Desiree allegedly forced her own daughter into a mental hospital for no real medical reason at all. Dara even dropped body cam footage showing the exact moment she got snatched up. She's saying her mom set up the whole move to ruin her life. But hold up, it gets even nastier. The lawsuit says Desiree did all this just to destroy Dara's marriage to Javon Hadley. Dara claims her mom threatened her using the Baker Act. So, 'cause you being Baker acted, that's Florida's hardcore mental health law that lets the cops or doctors lock you up for a mental eval if they think you might hurt yourself or someone else.
The rap game don't want y'all to know certain stuff, right? And I'm gonna expose the whole rap game right now because I got facts, right? This is what I do when I come on live. And shout out to the Queen Nicki, she'll be joining in just a few. She's an executive at Roc Nation. She's an executive at Roc Nation. You see her with Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying? She's an executive at Roc Nation. There she goes right here, right? Let's see who Desiree Perez is, right? The story that spooked Dash revealed how Perez, the wife of longtime Jay-Z wingman Juan Perez, became a cooperating witness for the DEA in the 1990s. Again, this is public information.
Desiree allegedly used her power and big money to break them apart just 'cause Dara wouldn't leave her man. The Baker Act lets them hold someone for up to 72 hours, and it's meant for real emergencies. But Desiree allegedly twisted it for her own game. That's straight up disturbing. Desiree Perez allegedly flipped that law, not to protect her daughter, but out of pure hate. According to Dara's lawsuit, the real reason Desiree wanted her to leave her husband Javon Hadley is 'cause he's black. Yeah, you heard that loud and clear? The same Desiree Perez that Jay-Z put in charge of Roc Nation is now being accused of straight-up racism by her own daughter. That's wild. Dara claims her mom told her, "I'm going to Baker Act you. If you stay with that N-word, I will have you committed." That's straight up sick. And it don't stop there.
So legally,
I can go home.
No, you cannot.
Why?
Because you're being Baker active.
Body camera video shows the moments Broward deputies encouraged Demore Hadley to get into this pickup truck with people she says she didn't know.
I can ride with you and you guys take me?
You're going to be in handcuffs, so dog's not going to be able to come?
No, I don't want to be in handcuffs.
Okay.
Demore says they took her to a hospital for a mental health evaluation after this doctor signed paperwork saying she was a risk to herself.
What he told me was, we received a call from your family that you tried to OD the night before.
Dara came with heavy receipts. She dropped pages of medical papers proving she wasn't on drugs, didn't have no mental health breakdown, and had zero reason to be locked up in a psych ward. She even blasted all this on X, saying that fake blogs and shady pages been getting paid to spread lies about her. She showed blood work, urine tests, and even hair follicle tests, not just from one place either. 3 different clinics checked her out, plus she got over 10 years worth of doctor records showing she'd been clean the whole time. That's crazy, she said loud and clear. I have never done drugs. I have never drunk alcohol. That's what Dara put out there for everyone to see. So how does all this chaos link back to Nicki Minaj? Easy. Nicki been warning folks about Desiree Perez and Jay-Z for years, but people kept laughing her off, calling her bitter or saying she was too dramatic. Look at it now. They didn't want to hear it. Remember when Nicki and Megan Thee Stallion were going at each other with those diss tracks last year? That's when Nicki started dropping hints she was about to expose Desiree's shady secrets. She even called out how Desiree allegedly fired a bunch of Roc Nation staff for no real reason.
Rapper Nicki Minaj was the apparent target of a swatting call last night at around 7 p.m. The LA County Sheriff's Department received a call claiming an assault with a deadly weapon had occurred at the Grammy winner's Hidden Hills residence. The caller claimed somebody had shot at a black female or had shot a black female adult, and 2 suspects wearing all black were still on the property. But when deputies arrived at Minaj's residence, there was no evidence of any crime.
Nicki wrote, "On the next song, I delve into all the people Desiree allegedly fired for unknown reasons, other things as well. So many people were blindsided and hurt by her, allegedly. And she didn't stop there." Nicki said Desiree was so obsessed with replacing her that she'd go broke trying to do it. Nicki even wrote, "Fix it, Jesus!" But now all the hidden truth is finally coming out. Those workers didn't just get laid off randomly. They were reportedly let go just because they supported Nicki Minaj. That's insane. And now Desiree's own daughter, Dara, is backing Nicki all the way. She's saying Roc Nation and Desiree been moving dirty behind the scenes, all to bring Nicki down. In a recent interview, Dara straight up said Roc Nation didn't just target her. They came for her whole family. She claims they went after her husband and even her son. That's beyond messy. That's ruthless. Dara even compared Nicki's situation to her own forced stay in the psych ward. She said Desiree and Roc Nation are way more dangerous than anyone thinks. Like seriously evil. This is on another level. Behind the scenes, after Nicki saw Dara's lawsuit and all them interviews, she went off on X. She clapped back hard. She said to all the PMs who claimed they didn't get the message, "Hopefully Dara's massive and detailed page-by-page claim gets you all the way caught up and, never call me a liar. Never insinuate either." Nicki wasn't playing. She even said, "Every single angel ever created fights for me at the mere mention of that word as it relates to me. Vengeance is the Lord's. Be careful. No one who conspired on the wrong side will go unpunished for the role they played in this movie. I hope it was all worth it." She didn't hold back at all. Nicki straight up confirmed Roc Nation really went after her husband and her child. And she said even right now, there's still folks with big power trying to tear her family apart. That's wild. Now here's the part that's straight up insane. You probably remember in 2023 when Nicki's house kept getting swatted over and over, right? Well, according to her, that wasn't some random prank at all. She said it was all part of Roc Nation's twisted plan to break her down and mess with her mind. It started when someone called the cops saying Nicki was hurting her own kid. LAPD pulled up crazy fast, searched everything, and found nothing. But just hours later, boom, another call came in saying there was a fire at her house. Cops showed up heavy, but again, nothing. Then a few weeks later, boom again, another fake call claimed Nicki got shot at her own home. Police came deep, ready for action, but of course nothing was there. This is some next-level harassment. Oh, crime. No emergency. Just pure stress thrown on Nicki and her family. The LA Times even confirmed it. The LA County Sheriff's Department got a report saying a woman got shot in Hidden Hills. The caller claimed a friend shot a black woman, but it turned out to be all fake. Just another swatting call. A neighbor even told the LA Times that law enforcement really did pull up to Nicki's crib. This wasn't no random act. It was repeated, it was strategic, and it popped off right when Nicki started putting Roc Nation on blast and hinting at all the dirty secrets behind the scenes. That timing ain't no coincidence. So when Desiree's own daughter says Roc Nation will crush anybody who doesn't fall in line, and Nicki's getting swatted while her child gets dragged into it, you gotta ask yourself, was this all part of some bigger plan? Was Roc Nation sending a twisted warning? 'Cause this don't feel random at all, not even a little bit. And don't forget who we dealing with. Desiree Perez got a super shady past. Nicki wasn't just catching smoke over petty beef. She was a target because she dared to speak the truth nobody else wanted to say out loud. Roc Nation ain't just out here pushing records. It might be a whole front for something way bigger, something federal. And right at the center of all this, Desiree Perez, a convicted trafficker who flipped to become a government informant. That's straight from a deep dive by investigative account Resists Programming on X. Desiree got arrested way back in 1994 for moving 35 kilos of cocaine and conspiracy to distribute. The court files reviewed by the New York Daily News said she was tied to a major drug ring that ran all through New York. That's wild. Florida and Puerto Rico too. And here's the real kicker. Desiree wasn't moving solo. There were other players in the mix. And get this? Her husband, Juan O.G. Perez, was deep in it too. And Juan ain't just some random dude. He's one of Jay-Z's closest homies. They've been tight since forever. They even co-founded the 40/40 Club back in the mid-90s, and later Jay put Juan on as president of Roc Nation Sports. To this day, they still tight like family-level close. Now let's get back to Desiree's wild past. You're probably wondering what went down after she got caught with all that weight, right? Here's the plot twist. She didn't do no real time. She took a deal, flipped to a federal informant, and even wore a wire to help bring down her old partners. That's crazy. A 2014 report by the New York Daily News said the feds were super hyped with her cooperation. They called her their star mold. That same article showed her as a Manhattan nightlife queen with a thick rap sheet, tight with Jay-Z, and a history as a DEA cooperating witness. And at one point, she was even on the run as a fugitive. Wild! Yeah, she eventually got a pardon, but according to Nicki, that don't mean she ever stopped snitching. Nicki claims Desiree and Jay-Z are both still government snitches. And she says Roc Nation ain't just a label. It's a whole Fed-run setup, a trap built to lock down rappers and keep the whole hip-hop game in check. That's crazy! Tory Lanez got convicted in December 2022 for allegedly shooting Megan Thee Stallion. But from the jump, the whole case was messy and full of holes. This is some next-level stuff. The evidence didn't even line up. Gunshot residue didn't match the story that Tory pulled the trigger. And those bullet fragments they claimed came out of Megan's foot? Poof! Gone! One doctor said he took out some fragments, but when Detective Stogner hit the stand, he straight up admitted they couldn't even find them. That's wild. And it gets even messier. Multiple witnesses said it was actually a woman who fired the shots. Tory's team called out the bullet's trajectory, the chain of custody, and the whole story the media was selling. And right before sentencing, Tory spoke up loud. He said Roc Nation was behind the whole setup. Then after that guilty verdict hit, Tory's father lost his mind outside the courthouse. Cameras caught him shouting that Desiree Perez, Jay-Z, and Roc Nation trade and barter the souls of young men. That's deep. But it ain't just Tory like Nicki been saying. If you dare speak out against Roc Nation, it's only a matter of time before you end up in court or locked up. Just look at 6999. They branded him the ultimate snitch, dragged him through the mud for cooperating in his RICO case. That's straight up ruthless. 6999 didn't just snitch, he also linked up with Nicki to publicly blast Desiree Perez and Roc Nation. And right after that, his whole image got straight up burned to the ground. You think that's a coincidence? Nah. Then you got Casanova, another rapper tied up with Roc Nation, who suddenly got hit with them big federal RICO charges. But peep the timeline. Casanova had just started talking about Roc Nation's shady business moves, and just a few months later, the feds swooped in heavy. The way his case went down, it follows that exact same blueprint Nicki been warning about. Sign 'em, trap 'em, control 'em, and if they push back, destroy 'em. That's the cold game. But here's the craziest part. Nicki ain't even close to finished. She got more names on deck, and it's not just rappers. She got a whole list that includes managers, judges, big execs, and even media insiders. If Nicki really decides to air it all out, we might see Roc Nation fall apart in front of the whole world, live and unfiltered. Like, share, and subscribe, because it's about to get even wilder in the hood. You don't want to miss what's coming next. This might be the biggest shakeup the game ever seen.